We're back. We're back.
It's been time.
Now, yeah, no. Welcome back to the bi-yearly Layer
Yeah,
One
well,
episode. Because
only twice a year.
you're the real fans if you stick around.
The, the real layer one enjoyers stick around.
Just to see us ramble for about an hour or so
About
every other year.
nonsense.
Every
Yeah.
year until the dimensional collapse or something. I don't know.
Koji, introduce our
Oh
tiny
yes.
audience to the topic of today.
As a certain unnamed man, they're demons. Aliens are demons, people.
Yeah. Episode 3 of Layer 1. Fucking aliens. Are they not actually aliens?
Yes.
Or vice versa.
Oh gosh, yeah. Which one is it? Could they be from outer space? Are they from here, maybe? Or are other dimensions? Who knows? There's so many possibilities.
Yeah. So I guess if we're gonna start with this idea of uh Mouse being not not actually maybe like space. I first heard of this because of some French dude, because of course,
Oh, of course, yes. That's how
named
always all good stories start.
yeah, it always starts with a French dude named Jacques Vallée. I'm not a Frenchie, but uh, this Jacques Vallée guy is like a legit scientist, um, a legit like computer scientist, astronomer, um, and you know, I remember reading that he apparently he'd initially been kind of the standard like Redditor scientist, like, oh, this is all that UFO stuff is like bullshit. And then I think one day the story goes that he's working on some like satellite like astronomy project type shit. They're tracking like the staff and him are like tracking some like weird object orbiting Earth. They're like, what the fuck is this? This is kind of weird. They don't immediately think about UFOs, because they have that kind of Redditor attitude about it. They're like, oh,
Ah,
it must just be some weird
it's gotta be an
rock.
explanation.
And but then what happens is that some superior comes in and like because this was like back in the fucking 60s, so this was all being recorded, but like on tape and shit. Erases the fucking tape and it's just like you guys saw nothing.
Ah,
And
of course. That's how. Yeah.
yeah, and so this Jocks guy is like, um, excuse me, what the fuck did he mean by this? Like if it was just some like weird like thing, or even just like some like secret-ish satellite, they would have been like, oh, just like ignore it. It's just nothing. Like like the the force with which the superior was like no, like you gotta forget this. I'm erasing the tape. Like this never happened. Was like super weird to the guy. So he was like, okay, so like maybe there's like something to this, to this whole like UFO
Hmm.
alien shit. But again, he's like a scientist, dude, and when he's like so he starts looking into like UFO stuff, but he starts realizing that like to him at least, a lot of like the tropes of like UFO, alien sightings, abductions, whatever, like kind of don't make sense if it's actually like, aliens from another planet, like organic beings from another planet.
Hmm.
Um he was like the the amount of encounters are just like if it's just like a physical survey of Earth, like there's way too many encounters going on, like, it should
Yeah,
realistically
exactly.
they only need to, like, settle down once, pick up some dirt or whatever,
Yeah,
and
pick
then
some
just
dirt
go.
or grab some people like 10,000 years ago. Like, why keep coming back? And it's like, oh, it's another
Yeah,
talking monkey. Woohoo!
yeah. Or
Gotta
or
keep
or
the
or, like
quota for.
yeah, yeah, or fucking send, like, a drone or something, which they I don't think they had a concept of that back in the '60s, but, like, something, like,
Yeah,
they wouldn't need to just, like, come down and, like, uh like fucking stop people in their cars in the middle of the street in like the '70s, and like abduct
yeah,
them there. Like they don't need to do that. That's too much. And then of course the other big thing, which is the common retort, and it's true, it's fair. Is just that like the appearance of these aliens, like they're all like way too humanoid, and they look way too familiar. Like
yeah,
what
yeah. No, the whole
what?
two eyes, two
Yeah,
nostrils, a mouth, like just the
yeah.
usual
And
thing.
some of them, like, like, fucking just straight up look like fucking like, the Nordic aliens are
Yes,
a
yes,
common one,
just
like, that's just Scandinavian people,
yeah,
what the
they're
fuck?
just elves from space. Like,
Yeah, like, are you telling me that, like, the odds that some fucking other species on planet Earth evolved to look exactly like fucking Scandinavian people? Like, no, I just don't buy that. Let alone that all of these aliens, whether it's like reptilians or greys or whatever, like all these humanoid aliens, like that doesn't make sense scientifically.
mhm,
Um, um, what else? Oh, and the fact that like yeah, like you kind of hinted at, Koji, that like a lot of the like if we were to interpret a lot of stuff in the like historical, mythological, religious record, whatever, a certain way, like there's an implication that this has been going on a long fucking time, and if
yeah.
that's the like again, that
And
just
that
also
just
doesn't
takes you
need to be.
down. Yeah, it just takes you down the whole like ancient aliens rabbit hole.
Yeah, it assumes so much that just doesn't need to happen.
Yeah,
The ability for UFOs to like manipulate space and time, like that indicates a level, either a level of control over like a technological control over reality that just again would just not, like any species that could do that shit would just not need to be coming here
yeah, yeah. No,
really.
anything that's like any species that has achieved like interstellar travel and like a reason for it is definitely beyond like a, you know, on the Kardashev scale. It's like a type 1 or type 2 civilization.
Yeah,
Why would they bother themselves with like things that have barely left like the Earth's orbit?
yeah,
Like
like maybe once.
we'd be so primitive to like anything that can achieve that level of, I
Yeah,
don't know,
like
travel. And like you were saying, yeah, with like reality and like space and time manipulation to be able to travel that far. And
to come here just to fuck with people.
yeah, just to grab people off the street in the '70s, like you were saying, or
Yeah, yeah,
go
just to like shove
fuck up
fucking.
some cows in some field somewhere. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like it doesn't. It just so much of this doesn't make sense when you like stop to think about it for like a second. And so um, this guy's like theory, he was like really the first to propose what's called the interdimensional hypothesis, as opposed to the more traditional extraterrestrial hypothesis, which is that so that he's saying these things are, the reason they can do a lot of these things is not because it's advanced technology, but because these are just um they're these are beings from another, like another dimension, parallel to ours, and they can kind of like move in and out at their will. So in a sense, this kind of idea that in a way they're kind of native to Earth,
Yeah,
just on another plane that we're not really capable of experiencing, and that's why they look so humanoid. I think there's kind of an implication in a bit of the reading that I've done, and I haven't done a lot to be fair, but it's kind of an implication that like this other realm they're from, parallel to ours, is like kind of influenced by like our fucking thoughts and feelings and ideas and shit. So they look similar to us. It's because, well, they take
Ah,
the forms we are familiar with, which is ourselves.
the implication that we've real booted Greys.
Yeah, we've real booted aliens. What? I was about to say. I was about to say. Watch Chaos Head. No, read Chaos Head if you
Oh
want to
yeah,
get
yeah. That doesn't make
that
that
reference.
distinction real quick.
but yeah, so he like, so this guy honestly kind of like based Schizo was like, yeah, like the he could, so he was like, so stuff like the miracle of Fatima, or like, any kind of like weird like religious apparitions, like stuff like, like in the fucking Bhagavad Gita, in the fucking gods, or like, he's like, oh, those are technically UFO encounters, they're just like, UFOs are like more of a weird interdimensional mental spiritual fucking thing. Um which honestly, I like this explanation better. It's so much cooler. It's like,
Yeah,
oh
it's
yeah.
so good. And it
It's
ties in with a lot of other things too, like just in general. Like a big one that would connect to is like the whole uh, psychoactive drugs and stuff like DMT and
oh yeah, the
going to
fucking
the
the
DMT
elves.
realms, the clockwork elves, and
Yeah, yeah.
the
Yeah,
the
it's all
ent.
the same like phenomenon basically, which is, that's so fucking cool, dude. Uh,
Ah, yes, the Hat Man is one of them. There you go. There's
yeah,
another one.
well, yeah. The fucking, I think the term to refer to this, another guy I've read a bit of, John Keel. He coined the term ultra terrestrials
Ooh,
for
ooh, that's
for
a
this,
fun one. That
which is
ultra
so,
terrestrial.
it sounds so fucking cool, right? And basically the idea is that basically all like spooky shit, all paranormal shit is ultra terrestrial, so like demons, or like fairies,
Oh yeah,
or like fucking vampires, fucking shadow people,
and just your basic ghosts.
ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, poltergeists and shit. Like they're all this, is this phenomenon of ultra terrestrials, these interdimensional beings, which is it's kind of cool, though I think it's also funny because it's like, it's kind of like a, oh, like, how do you expect ultra terrestrial, simple
Yeah,
as.
yeah. That's just yeah. It becomes a bit of a blanket term in that case, and
It
it's
kind of,
just
but it also is like the thing that like makes the most sense in a lot of, or at least it makes the most sense if you want to believe in this stuff. Like I've seen this used as like an explanation. It's kind of funny, honestly, for like Bigfoot. Like, oh, why hasn't any evidence or like anything like a body of Bigfoot be? Oh, well, Bigfoot's not actually like a real like biological entity. He's an Bigfoot's an ultra terrestrial from another dimensional plane, and that's why we can't find any like solid evidence of Bigfoot, is because it's just this like ultra terrestrial species, I guess, that's been around with us forever. There's been sightings of wild hairy mans. It's like the fucking dawn of human civilization, and that's why Bigfoot looks that way, is because it's this thing that's taken on this form we've given it of the wild hairy man. um
which I guess
uh,
that also just explains the well. Actually, a good explanation for all that too is the concept of tulpas,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is yeah, no, it's basically that same type of like kind of just collective consciousness kind of like
Yeah, yeah,
shaped it
yeah.
to be that way.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, like that's why a lot of the things look the way they do, is because like the collective unconscious is shaping these things in certain ways. That's why, it's the theory as I've read it is basically that's why like a lot of like ghost sightings, like look the way they do, because we expect ghosts, if it's happening in a certain area, well, we expect it to look to be the ghost of like Abraham Lincoln or whatever, so it takes the form of Abraham Lincoln or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, and also explains a lot of like just shared things, like a lot of like just events in general and things that
Yeah,
are
yeah.
seen just all over the
Like,
world, even though there's no reason it should be the same. Like,
yeah, you know, you're like, well, that makes no sense, but
yeah,
yeah.
I've heard all these ancient cultures have, stories of
Oh,
people from the stars,
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
your other things like specific ghosts of like, like a grieving bride or something, or one of the many things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another thing I see it kind of used as an explanation for is kind of why, like for instance, why like UFOs um kind of like change like people talk about like the mysterious airships of the 1800s or early 1900s before planes really became a thing. Like a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of like yeah, like those are like
And
those are
then
UFOs,
yeah,
and
and you go
the
back
explanation.
further and it's just like, like, oh, flaming chariots or things like
Yeah,
that, like things that the only explanation is like vehicles or things of the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, it's a flaming
People
chariot. It's like, oh,
exactly. People only the framework people have to try to explain these things affects how they look. So that's why these mysterious airships. Oh, but those were just UFOs. Like we see today. And if those encounters had happened today, they'd probably look like how modern UFOs are
yeah, like
meant
how,
to look.
it became like the flying saucers,
Exactly.
and occasionally it's turned into like the current big one is like the tic tac, like the,
The Tic
like the
Tac.
like aerodynamic, like
Yeah.
pill shape, or like the triangular ones that kind of represent like those like stealth
Oh
bombers
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. The black triangular ones. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Which is so yeah, and a lot of another thing I've read is that like a lot of stuff that's kind of like reported today or is like kind of part of like conspiracy mythos, I guess you could say. Today is like really just like the same old shit, like fucking reptilian shapeshifters are basically just fucking like a modern version of changelings from
oh yeah,
you know m- old school fucking myth, or how like a lot of alien abduction stories read a lot like abductions by fairies.
oh yeah,
It-
even like, yeah, the older stuff, just like
yeah,
why there's always those stories, so like, oh yeah, you'll get taken by the gnomes or the
yeah, 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 literally,
fairies.
exactly. It's like, oh, it's just like the same kind of shit, just different skin, literally.
Literally, yeah.
um, what else? And even like kind of the other way around too, in the sense that a lot of that's you have certain stuff that's like a more modern happening, but like that looks a lot like like the fucking the Hopkinsville goblins,
Oh yeah.
aliens, but they literally look like fucking goblins, like
Oh yeah, no, geez, there's so many cryptids you could get into that are
yeah,
just like
yeah, but like
extensions of these things,
yeah,
and
but like those were like literally said to be like alien, like that was like an alien thing specifically. But like if that encounter had happened, in like medieval times instead of like the 1960s, I think it was, like that would have just been that would have just been seen as like, oh, you were just actually attacked by goblins,
yeah.
not aliens that look like goblins, just actual fucking goblins.
Oh
um,
man.
and then there's stuff like the fucking like with like the Aleister Crowley shit, where like he contacted this deity called Lamb, and then he drew what it looked like, and it's just a fucking gray alien, but like before those were even a thing,
Yeah.
like so like there's a lot of like weird coincidences that if you want to believe that this stuff is real, that like this is really the best explanation for it. um
Yeah, right. And then
so
it just gets into all that stuff about, oh geez, so many major religions and things, like the concept of, heaven, hell, and purgatory, and it could all, be fit nicely into that
yeah,
idea that it's just other dimensions.
Yeah, and it provides a way to like make all of this make sense and work together.
Mhm.
Which I think honestly is kind of cool as someone who's like big into like fiction, like fictional universe type stuff. A lot of the time, like writers like try to figure out, okay, like how are there aliens and vampires or ghosts all sharing the same setting? Like it kind of doesn't work. But with this, it all works. You can have Bigfoot and alien abductions and fucking literal demons, and it all makes sense in the same canon. Even yeah, even it can make different like religions work together because it's like, oh well, these are all just like cultural interpretations of the same thing, the same force or whatever.
Yeah. Similar
So
entities or things that have
yeah,
shown
yeah, yeah.
themselves in a lot of like stories of like oh well, all like religious apparitions and miracles and all those sort of things could
Yeah, yeah. It all
fit
f- it
into
all
that
fits
little.
it all fits together, and it would also it fit why these kind of religious apparitions or whatever kind of give different messages, I guess, slightly differing messages, is because it's just like, oh well, they're kind of just repeating back to the culture that's interpreting them what they want to hear
Yeah.
you know and so it's like, oh yeah, so yeah, you can have this interdimensional hypothesis. You can have demons and fucking aliens and Bigfoot, it all comes together.
It really does.
And I think I don't know, I think that's pretty neato because it's like, oh, it gives this kind of like mystical um property to everything. It's like, oh, this is all like it's all coming from this like other dimension. The, now that I'm saying it, it's basically just the fucking warp from fucking Warhammer.
It really is. Oh my gosh.
It's just the fucking warp. They're literally demons from the warp.
Oh god. Yeah, that's why some poor bastards who try to astral project and get lost.
they get they get fucked. Yeah.
Get lost and something walks into the body and leaves. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, boom, yeah, it's
That's demonic possessions right there. There you
demonic,
go. There's your explanation for that.
demonic possession. You're
Some
literally being possessed
some
by an interdimensional entity from the
some
warp.
poor idiot accidentally astral projects, and there you go. Now it's some big religious event.
Today I will astral project. What could go wrong? Yeah. The funny clockwork jester is telling me that Christ is a myth and to let him into my body. Well, seems legit.
What did they mean by this? Oh, my body just murdered a priest. Perfect. That's gonna look good for me if I come back.
uh, but yeah, it really is. Um, it really is just this kind of like unified theory of the paranormal, basically. Is this kind of I'm gonna call it warp theory from now on because I
Warp
just
theory. Oh yeah,
I,
that's
I
it.
just
That's the name.
I, I just think it sounds better. It's so much cooler than the interdimension. The interdimensional hypothesis is more of like, yeah, I get it. It's more, yeah, legit sounding. It's more scientific, but I like warp theory better.
Yes, that sounds much better. Yeah, things gotta adapt to the modern day. People will latch onto that much better.
I hope so. Honestly, I hope this fucking stupid little podcast is like the origin of this being a thing from now on. Is
Please
people
tell
just
me
talking
someone
about
in
warp
like
theory.
2 generations is gonna go, oh yeah, guys, got my warp theory lecture at 12 today.
It'll be me. I'll be the professor.
Oh yes, there you go.
But yeah, it's really cool, and it's a really cool theory, and it also I like it because it gives off big Twin Peaks vibes
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh well, implying David Lynch isn't part of that, and he's probably a
Oh yeah,
warp beast as we.
David Lynch knows. He knows. You just you know he knows.
Oh yeah.
He's traveled into the warp.
Oh yeah, he definitely has.
I 100% believe it. That's yeah, the warp, also known as the Black Lodge.
Oh my gosh. It's all connected. He's
It's
trying to
all
tell us
connected, man.
something.
He was trying to tell us, man. That's what fucking Bob and the fucking the arm and shit. That's all. They're all just fucking warp demons, dude.
Oh, it's making me think of a movie I saw, The Fourth Kind, the alien abduction movie,
Mhm. I
where
remember that.
yeah, the A's just happened to speak ancient Sumerian. Like, what did they mean by this?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, wait, what the fuck? Why would you like?
Ah, yes. It's like, oh yeah, they're speaking Sumerian. It's like, oh, that's horribly ominous.
Yeah, that's not something an alien does. That's something a actual literal fucking demon does.
Yeah, and yes, and what the just make the people think they were just barn owls. Don't worry about it. And then you try to do some like hypnosis, like psychohypnosis, and then the people just like the demon leaves the body, and the person is like paralyzed because of as demons do. They like to just do like, oh, you're gonna exercise me? I'm gonna just like snap this person's neck on my way out.
Which you just made me remember with that too. That's the owl thing. That's also a Twin Peaks thing too. The owls are not what they seem. Remember,
Ah,
the owls are agents of the Black Lodge. Fuck, dude.
that's horrifying.
Well, it's double horrifying because fucking where I come from, that is also like a thing. Like that's like a
Oh
local
yeah,
like
yeah. They're
superstition.
like kind of like a bad omen and stuff. I've heard sometimes, and like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
please get out
Owls
of my
are
house.
yeah,
Can't kill
owls
it,
are
but get away from me.
yeah, owls are fucking well fucking my family will straight up if they see an owl they'll fucking like try to kill those fucking things, dude. Um they're fucking they're like they're seen as like either like witches in disguise or like agents of witches or like demon or like fucking some demon or something.
That
Like
actually
owl
just that's an
demons.
interest that speaking of just in general, the maybe not coincidence, but the word for owl and witch, uh, warlock, whatever in Spanish is very similar.
Yeah, they're like basically the exact same. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, because I know that's like a at least where I'm from, that's also it's like an ancient thing, like pre-Spanish thing too. Apparently, like the fucking native people, like they saw the owls as like ambassadors of like the underworld basically. They were like the totem animals of the fucking god of death.
Yeah, right.
And so like to this day my family is like yeah these are like agents of the owls are like agents of hell, and if you they're yeah if you see them they're an omen of tragedy. um
Oh wait, and that it gets back to the whole concept of like um Stolas too, like an actual demon, like which is
yeah,
just an
yeah,
owl.
just literally just an owl, which speaking of just an owl demon thing. That's also another thing in where I'm from, the like local like indigenous ancient mythology shit. is there's this demon. Fuck, I forget what it's fucking called. Some crazy ass um Aztec name, obviously.
Ah,
That its name literally means owl man, and it's just a giant black red-eyed uh like fucking owl demon that is like a fucking it is an omen of like mass disaster,
oh
basically.
shit, it's just Mothman.
Yeah, dude, I was literally talking to a friend of mine a long while ago now. That's how I got into like the whole like Mothman thing. Like that's like anyone who knows me knows I'm a big Mothman boy.
Oh,
And that's how I got into it. Is because I knew like the local like mythological history and like folklore and stuff. Um, and so when I first heard about like the Mothman, I was like, wait, this is like the same fucking thing.
yeah.
This is the same thing. What?
Yeah,
Giant
no.
owl, black red-eyed owl demon that's a like omen of disaster. What? That's literally just the fucking Mothman.
Oh man.
That's just the same fucking thing. And I'm like, oh, what? So it's like there's this like history like across the world really of like owls being like demonic motherfuckers like agent like literally like the eyes of hell itself basically
Yeah.
is how
Yeah.
I was kind of like described to me. And so it's like to see that in stuff like Twin Peaks, to see that in stuff like the fourth kind. I'm like, that's yeah, there's got to be something to it, man.
Yeah.
Owls
It
are
all ties
fucking
together nicely with this whole theory.
owls are interdimensional messengers. Real. You heard
I'd
it here first.
much I'd much rather perceive them as owls than the greys. I'm
Oh,
I'm chief an owl, that's fine to look at, but a gray is I'm good. I'm good.
yeah,
Any
yeah,
other form is fine.
yeah. But yeah. So that I think Twin Peaks was onto something with that line. The owls are not what they seem.
Oh, well, yeah, and again, fourth kind, similar line of
Yeah,
like it wasn't an owl.
exactly. Yep, yep. It all fucking comes back, dude. Um, I think fucking I think I remember like I haven't read it, but I remember hearing about a book like a book about like paranormal shit called like The Messengers or something about
Mhm.
owls, synchronicities, and like UFO shit. Um, so I think it's even like minorly known thing in like paranormal circles or whatever. Um, so yeah, it's just really it's really weird how a lot of this stuff kind of works out, but it's like you know it 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 all comes down to it's the two paths, which way. It's all in our heads. It's all just humans being schizo, or it's all fucking
It's all
interdimensional
real.
shenanigans, and it's
It's
all fucking
true,
real.
all of it.
It's all true. It's all real. Mothman, Bigfoot, UFOs, demons, all of it. It's all real, and it's all because of the Black Lodge. The Black Lodge is real. That's literally there. You go. Case closed. I can't wait to show up in the fucking red room with the tiny dancing little guy and
It's like, ah,
have,
yes.
have a ball.
Or expedite the process and just do a heroic amount of DMT.
You've heard of microdosing? Well, now try megadosing.
Oh man, it's quick route to giving yourself schizophrenia.
Yeah, it's all worth it to finally talk to the Clockwork Elves.
No, they were mocking me. I'm gonna kick its ass.
They call- oh, hold on,
He thinks
man.
I'm just some stupid monkey who's visiting. No, I'm gonna beat him up.
The
You think you're
Clockwork
better
Elf.
than me, you higher dimensional being?
The,
Nope.
cl- the Clockwork Elves keep giving me racist remarks.
Oh man. Jeez.
They keep calling me slurs. They're
Oh,
so mean,
this
guys.
just also made me think of like similar connected concept of like how all electronics are like people have been pointing out that like circuits and stuff look like just like demonic
Ugh.
sigils and
Yeah, they
things,
look like sigils.
and it's like what do they mean by this? I
Yeah,
tell you,
stuff. Yeah, fucking circuits look like sigils. Smartphones look like the Aztec obsidian mirrors to the underworld. Literally, basically, demons thought like obsidian mirrors were like fucking gateways into the warp. And
oh, I
that's what,
mean, I'd agree. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
that's smartphones. That's literally,
what technology has done to us? Yeah, I'd say that's definitely a portal to the warp.
yeah, fucking, I like that. I love this like increasing, like, I don't know if you would even call it a theory, because I haven't seen any like really like theorizing about it. It's more just like memes about it. But I really like these like kind of meme theories that like Shin Megami Tensei is real, basically. That
Holy shit!
actually like digital technology has opened up like a portal to the warp, to the Black Lodge, as it is inviting demons
Oh my
into
god,
us.
that makes me think of that other thing that's always on like conspiracy icebergs. The internet wasn't invented; it was discovered.
As well as what I'm about to bring up that you just reminded me of, on Serial Experiments Lane. That's basically like the plot. The Wired. You find out that like spoilers for anyone who hasn't
Seen a
seen experiments, Serial Experiments
year
Lane.
old anime.
Yeah, but I got to do it because people get mad. Uh, you find out by the end that the Wired, it was discovered. It wasn't invented. It was like discovered. It's a realm that's existed alongside reality forever, pretty much. Um, and like that explains like Lane herself, is like she's this deity from the Wired, from the other side. And she's always kind of existed, but she was given form because what digital technology allowed humanity to do was basically interface with the Wired. It acted as a way, yeah, to interface with the Wired, and the Wired is, the impression that I got is that the Wired is this kind of um border world between us and something else. Almost kind of like another 1998 classic, almost like in Half-Life with a
Mm,
Zen.
right. Yes.
Literally, the Zen literally called the border world, and that's basically in a way what the Wired is. Um, and so like literally Lane is one of these demons from the warp that has just been given a body by fucking corporations, by fucking Tachibana Labs, um or the whatever, the Men in Black. You remember that episode of Lane where it's like you have the like documentary like snippets?
Yes. Yes.
I think
Yes.
I wholeheartedly believe those are the most important things to actually understanding Lane, because with what we're saying, what this whole episode is about, the random like alien shit in Lane makes
Oh.
1,000% more sense now.
Oh. Right. Right. The
Yep,
grade just shows up.
yep,
And
yep.
she's just like,
There's just random aliens, and then part of the first clip of the documentary segments in that one episode start off with start talking about alien shit, talking about like Roswell and the Men in Black, and how like basically in universe the wired was like the way like the digital technology like the humans in Serial Experiments Lane, they basically like figured out all that technology from the UFO crash in Roswell.
Right.
That's what at least that's what the documentary says. Um, and so again, literally, aliens are the reason humans discovered the wired.
Oh man. Yeah. Without a doubt, the creators of that were just. It was just.
Oh yeah,
Just telling the truth. It's real. That show is
yeah,
just.
yeah. Lane is real. Lane is real. Um, it all happened, and the reset at the end is real. That happened. Let's all just we are the reset universe that Lane created. But yeah, yeah, the writer, fucking Kanaka, that man, he was fucking, he knows.
Yeah, he knows, and was
He
also
knows.
quite prophetic with.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, Lane is obviously very prophetic in how the internet turned out, and I think the secrets of how he was so prophetic is because while everyone was thinking about just like the internet as itself, this man was like, nah, man, demons.
Demons. Yep.
Demons. Aliens are demons, and demons come from the internet. The Wired.
Oh
Uh,
man,
there we go. We solved it all.
definitely would. Like I was saying, it would definitely explain a bit of just everything, like how society has like changed since becoming so interconnected on
Yeah,
this
I mean,
thing, this evil thing we built
yeah,
or
like
discovered. Who knows?
Lane literally shows. It literally showed us what was going to happen.
And we didn't listen.
We did not listen. No, we didn't. We didn't listen. In fact, we're just actively like,
Just not ignoring it. Just fingers in the ears. Just like, oh,
yeah,
can't hear you.
we're actively doing what it said not to do. In fact, there's a large contingent of Lane fans who are like, oh wow, the message of Lane was to not do this. Let's do this. That's so cool. I love transhumanism. Even though Lane was like, no, like your body is sacred actually, and it's important
Uh,
to making you human. And
it
if you
gets
try
back
to
to that whole
get rid
like
of it or change it, you're a fucking abomination.
how it always happens with anything, any sort of like literature, like media that's made, and they're like, remember that whole post someone made a while ago of like, ah yes,
Oh
remember
yeah.
the pain nexus from this book like 7 years ago? We've just built it, and it's like from the famous book, don't build the pain nexus.
Now introducing the pain nexus from the famous book. Don't build the fucking pain nexus. Yeah, yeah, it's great. It's again, it's literally like the biggest example of our time. Obviously, is the metaverse from by fucking Facebook, which comes from fucking Snow Crash, which
Oh
was
yeah, yeah.
a cyberpunk novel about well, it's a cyberpunk dystopia. It's like, oh great, cool. Like you're just making the thing from the cyberpunk dystopia.
At least the metaverse is like crippling Facebook as a company, though, so that's at least something's coming of it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty based, but I don't know. I'm not too hopeful on that. I think it's kind of goes beyond the topic of the discussion, but
Yeah, that's a whole other like
I
rabbit
think
hole.
I think Facebook's gonna fucking die, and someone else will just take up their research and try to do it still. Basically, I mean, really, fucking Meta just should not exist as of right now, really. But it's being kept afloat by I don't know, fucking BlackRock or Vanguard or something. So
Oh,
they
you're not
want.
supposed to say them. It's over.
I named him. Oh god. Yeah, next episode. Never. I think I think this is really our comeback episode,
Yeah,
Koji. I think this is really
there we go.
this is
We've laid
really
out
it.
a network, like a little path, so to speak, of
Yeah, a little.
where
Yeah,
we could
exactly.
take future episodes.
Yeah. God,
It's
we
just
might get more than 2 episodes this year. God damn.
phew, Nah, if it's more than two, we're gonna be killed by some unseen forces, probably.
Well, we'll get the Men in Black set on us.
Uh, that's also another interesting one of like, there's the like that just makes me think of that idea that people talk about them as like, oh, they're just, secret government entities, or the other people who talk about them as if they were cryptids themselves. And it's like, oh yeah,
Oh
the men
yeah,
in black entities that are like, they'll just show up and be like, give us all your stuff on this thing you shouldn't have figured out and pieced together.
yeah.
Well,
I
um,
definitely,
I think it's the
if
descriptions of them, the weird descriptions of them. It's like, oh
yeah,
yeah, they're usually like, you know,
a lot of the times they're described
pale,
as like
no
yeah,
hair, like no eyelashes, no eyebrows, like just like really
or like
abnormal looking.
weird eyes, like
Yeah,
weird colors, or like fucking slits like reptilians or some shit. Um, I mean, well, obviously we know now that like from the like fucking Pentagon shit that just like government men in black are just like real that just exist. But I think there is an element, if we're to believe those sightings, of course, of probably more ultra terrestrial shenanigans going on there too.
I guess.
Uh, that
Interdimensional men in black.
Yeah, God, that's fucking what a fucking phrase. Interdimensional men in black. I mean, yeah, like I don't know,
It's like, oh
it
yeah,
makes a weird
that's when
kind of
you
sense.
really piece together something, and it's like, ooh,
Yeah,
well, I don't think a government has enough clearance for that.
yeah, exactly. That's when you know you're just like, oh man, the fucking this wasn't Washington. This was the Clockwork Elves sending their goons after me.
Imagine. Well, see, that thing make things more interesting though, because then it'd just be like the Men in Black movies, and then it's like comedic levels of like wacky, zany, like interdimensional customs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we were to take it seriously, though, of course, it again, it gives off Twin Peaks vibes. It's like
Is that what this is? Was David Lynch like threatened by interdimensional Men in
that's what
Black at some
happened.
point, and he's just
That's
like,
what
oh,
I believe it. I believe it. That's why we had to wait 25 years for Twin Peaks to come back. He was threatened mid season two by the Men in Black. They're like, you're sorry, dude. The
you're
black.
getting a little close to
See,
the truth.
I just figured it out, Koji. I just figured it out. Think about
Hmm.
it. Men in Black, the Black Lodge. Oh,
Oh, there you go.
Men in Black, Agents of the Black Lodge confirmed. You. It all fucking makes sense now. It's all coming together, man. It's all coming together. They're trying to hide their own existence from humanity. It's
A better question is why? Why are you doing this? Just let us in. Come on. Don't worry about it. I can be trusted around the interdimensional library of knowledge, and come on. Just open up the warp gate. Come on, just let us in.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, let us travel the warp, please. Let me.
Stop
That
being
would
so
really
cryptic and
it would really save us. It would really save us a lot of money and effort trying to get to Mars, please.
oh, there's more things to do than better things to do than that.
I think how I view it is I view it in this kind of mixture of like Black Lodge, Twin Peaks, 40K's warp, and like fucking like Lovecraftian like cosmic horror shit. I think the why is just completely fucking incomprehensible
Oh,
to
oh yeah,
us.
obviously that's
Uh,
yeah. No,
But
it's just beyond our
it's just
monkey
beyond,
brains.
yeah. It's beyond us, and I think but like it makes more sense that way because like okay, it makes more sense for like interdimensional beings to act completely fucking incomprehensibly than it does for, again, organic,
I would explain
organisms.
the like Sasquatch appearances. It's just like, what do you mean this interdimensional thing just wanders the woods
Yeah, he fucking
aimlessly and
yeah. It's like, what
spooking
the fuck?
like hillbillies?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what is the purpose of this? Incomprehensible Lovecraftian horror shit. I don't know, dude.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it's a
why
picture of
did
a Wendigo. That flag of just a Wendigo that just has the text. It's like, don't worry about it.
yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. And I like it because the funny part is I love like reading like about old cultures and their myths in regards to this kind of shit. And that was their attitude. They're just like, don't worry about it, dude. It's a thing.
It's beyond
We
us.
It's
You're gonna
beyond us. We're just gonna deal with it. We're not gonna worry about the why. We're just gonna deal with it. That's it.
much easier that way.
It's so much easier. Like, just don't ask questions because you will never get answers.
No, you will actually like lose your mind in pursuit of that.
Yes, yes. So it's just really funny, honestly. It's like transcending cosmic horror to cosmic fucking comedy.
Comedy. Oh my god.
It's just like, what the fuck? Like, what do interdimensional beings have to gain by like,
Trolling the monkeys.
yeah, like what the fuck? Like, why? Ooh, we're gonna kidnap this hillbilly and shove a metal rod up his ass. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Oh god.
you guys want to like spook the shit out of the humans by like fucking up their cattle? Like,
Yeah, like why not? Like, oh, let's draw patterns in their crops and well,
yeah, it's shit. Like, again, another way I think about it too is in terms of like Half-Life is another good like way of like kind of interpreting this shit, because like especially when it comes to like the Men in Black shit, because again, that's literally a fucking G-man. Um, yeah. In fact, I think G-man was actually inspired by like Men in Black sightings, because like the way he like talks, that like weird fucking cadence of him and the kind of
oh
like look in
yeah.
his eyes, it reminds me of a lot of those like weird like non-human Men in Black reports,
Right, yeah.
where it's just like these fucking things like they talk as if they don't know how to talk, as if they're like new to it or something. Um, but
I know, that they're like they have to dumb themselves down because they're like, oh, if I slip up, this thing's head is gonna explode because it can't like comprehend.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But then it's stuff it's also how I think about stuff like Mothman.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, okay, if that whole thing was real, what the fuck was the point? Like, why would this?
Specifically in like this weird area, like this small town, we're just gonna
Yeah,
like
this fucking tiny nowhere town in the middle of fucking nowhere, West Virginia. I'm gonna like fucking fuck around this fucking giant, presumably intelligent-ish interdimensional owl thing is gonna fuck around with the population of a small nowhere town to try to warn them about a bridge collapsing. Like,
just like
what?
what did he
What the
mean
fuck?
by
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What the
this?
fuck was the point of this? This just like makes no fucking sense whatsoever. And so how I choose to think of it is, again, I choose to think of it as of like shit like that, as like Mothman being kind of like a fucking feathery G-man, basically, because that's G-man's thing too, is like nudging the timeline, basically,
Right, yeah.
for completely like unknown reasons, even in Half-Life. Like, you don't know why he's fucking with people to get certain things to happen. He just is. You will probably never understand, but like there's some kind of weird, vague reasoning behind it. But now I'm thinking about like, oh man, what if if we put this all together, you get this like, a lot of things kind of make sense, like in like the conspiracy realm. Honestly, I'm like, oh dude, like
It's all connected.
it's all connected, because it's like the G-man's employers. This like fucking multiverse spanning bureaucratic conspiracy that's like kind of like the main
Oh
they're kind
man.
of implied to be like the real antagonists of the Half-Life multiverse, I guess. But it's just like, oh, well, like that kind of fuck, dude. Is the demonic invasion of Earth from the internet actually a ploy of a grand multiversal bureaucratic conspiracy?
Oh. Yeah, well, yeah, because you have that like the more like structured side of it, like that. But then again, like all the other weird shit that's just like, like you were saying, cosmic comedy, like
Yeah.
fucking yeah, no, like abductions and God, I keep thinking of Battle Los Angeles, the real one, not the movie, the one that happened in
The
the
real
40
Battle of Los
in
Angeles,
the
yeah.
40s. That it's like, this UFO is just like, this thing seemed pretty tense. I'm gonna fly over a really like
Yeah. I'm gonna
strategic US area and just kind of vibe, and then they're just gonna like everyone, the entire military just opens fire. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. Again, I
it's just
really
like,
do think, I
do a
really
little
do.
bit of trolling. It's fine.
Dude, the more I think about it, the more I think I really do think that like there Half-Life is kind of a great way of like looking at the world of like the paranormal and conspiracies if you like think about it for a minute, because it's just like the first Half-Life is literally like you could just a fucking great stupid summary of it would be a workplace accident. And everything that happens is just like all the weird shit that happens is just a result of this workplace accident, but it's also all planned by the grand multiversal conspiracy. It's chaos. It is the forces of chaos of the warp, but it's controlled chaos. It's literally, again, the Zen creatures, these aliens, these demons, if you wanna consider it that way. They're demons, literally from Zen, from the warp, but it's all planned by the G-Man's employers, by this grand multiversal conspiracy from beyond the warp, controlled chaos.
And why that is, you will never know.
You'll never know. You'll never know. It's beyond humanity's capability to comprehend. But honestly, I think that's the way. That's the mood. That's the way to think about it. Is all this shit is just a result, just like to the bureaucracy, I guess. Just meager consequences of shit they're fucking with. They're opening portals on Earth from the warp for God knows what reason. They create again. It goes back to serial experiments later too. The aliens are the reason we created the internet to access the wired. For what reasons? Who knows why they would want us to do that? But then you get all the consequences of that they don't care about. It's unforeseen consequence. Again, another line from Half-Life: unforeseen consequences. But the bureaucracy doesn't care about the unforeseen consequences. They just want the results. They don't care about the human lives that are fucking ruined in the process of in any of these stories.
Oh, of course not. What are some monkeys to higher level beings?
I know, right, man? I can't believe we just formed a like grand conspiracy theory of the paranormal from a bunch of 90s
Oh yeah, no. If I
media.
don't get like orbital striked in the next 24 hours, I'm gonna have some more questions.
I know, right? I'm waiting for the Men in Black to knock on my door.
Knock on your door. They're gonna apparate in your living
Yeah,
room.
they're gonna. I'm gonna fucking try
They're
to
gonna.
go to sleep, and they're just gonna appear above me.
Oh, it's sleep paralysis demons. That's what they are.
Damn.
There you go,
Sleep,
another whole ass thing. The whole sleep paralysis theme. It's like, what do you mean? It's just standing in the corner watching me sleep. What did they mean by this?
sleep paralysis demons were warp demons the whole time. Real. I fucking believe it.
All that's left is you gotta slip it into that like that the extended history of mankind too.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah.
Oh,
Atlantis, did it disappear into the warp?
oh my god. That's what it is. It got like fucking like the bottle city of like Krypton or whatever from Krypton. The whole like you're telling me it's just like in a like a snow globe on some higher dimensional entity's desk somewhere.
It's literally fuck. We just recreated the Dark Eldar from Warhammer. That's literally their whole background is the dark city of Komorag. Fucking slipped into the webway into the
Holy
war.
shit.
And that's how, if I remember correctly, that's how they became the Dark Eldar.
Well, there you go.
They're
Warhammer
giant.
is real.
Warhammer's just fucking real.
And by extension, Dune.
But yes, by extension, Doom. Yes. We've just explained. Honestly, so Atlantis. I feel like in some way Atlantis slipping into the warp also explains shadow people. I feel like that. I feel like shadow people are just what happens when to people when they fucking slip into the warp.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, well, there you go. That's what ghosts are too. It's all
Yeah, fucking yeah, fucking Warhammer's just fucking real, guys. I'm sorry.
it's, uh, yeah, yeah. No, that's pretty accurate. I'd say.
Now I know we're really gonna get fucking orbital striked. Guys, they figured out Atlantis and the Shadow People. It's fucking over.
It should know that.
Shut them down.
No, no. All that's gonna happen is we're gonna get like a cease and desist from like Games Workshop for talking about Warhammer. That's how they cover it up. You're just like, oh, you talked about our product. It's like, no, it's real. I know what you're hiding.
Classic using using corporations to do their dirty work.
I
Damn,
guess.
it really all comes back to Cyberpunk.
Event Horizon is real. I just got reminded
Oh yeah,
that literally just the warp again.
yeah. That's also literally just the warp.
And it's by extension it's Hellraiser, which connects it back to demons. There you go.
Yes, literal demons from the warp.
Oh, oh, which is also it just connects back to Berserk because the God Hand is.
But yeah, honestly, there's a lot of like weird, cool, cult classic, esoteric media that is like kind of all pointing to this whole like interdimensional demon alien fucking weird extra dimensional conspiracy bullshit. Now that I think about it, I'm like, wow, all this, and it's all from the '90s too.
Yeah.
Dark City, Half-Life, Lane,
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. Warhammer was '80s if I remember correctly, but I don't think it really came into its own until the '90s. I would say, but that's just my Zoomer perspective. Uh, um, oh yeah, and cyberpunk, I think too. As a genre, specifically like stuff like I don't know if you've ever. I've honestly barely like experienced it myself, but Shadowrun, you ever heard of that?
I've heard of that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, the Shadowrun. It's also again literally this where it's like cyberpunk, but like demons from the warp basically start coming in and like
Oh yeah.
start mutating people into like fucking different like fantasy type fucking creatures or whatever, like goblins and ogres, and you get dragons and coming in and shit, and it's just it's fantasy meets cyberpunk, but it also has this element of like, well, it's actually like the cause is kind of like interdimensional.
Right.
It's kind of like a force from outside seeping inside into our reality and causing, causing people to basically be possessed by demons. It
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you get literally there's an event in Shadowrun, um uh there a thing in Shadowrun called goblinization, which is basically it's basically
Colonization.
goblin, yeah, it's
Oh.
goblinization. It's basically that, where and the funny part too is that goblinization began in universe in the year 2021.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, yep.
Coming to
Um,
a reality near you.
yeah, it's already. I sometimes I look like I saw like I've seen some people post this kind of stuff on like Twitter before, because of fucking course where they're just like, I mean, just look at some people. Look at what like the ruling regime, what the ruling the message is turning people into. It's literally
Oh.
goblinization from Shadowrun. They're being possessed by demons from the warp and goblinizing.
Oh yeah. Man.
I'm telling you, all this shit, and again, Shadowrun is also from the '90s too. So again, all this shit, it's all. I don't know what those '90s writers were on, but they were on to something.
They were plugged into some sort of like collective unconscious, that's for sure.
Yeah, they were plugged in, dude. They were plugged the fuck in. They knew, dude. They fucking knew. They were like goblinization, demons from the warp. It's all just real. It's happening right now as we speak. The vampire potbelly goblins, the psychic vampires. They're taking over the world, guys. Like I don't know what to tell you. Please don't sue us for $1 billion.
And there's nothing to be done about it. You just get to go along for the ride and hope the
Well, I,
funny
I think
interdimensional bureaucracy leaves you
doesn't
alone.
win. Yeah. Well, I always say I think honestly I think the one out of all these properties, the one that gives a solution is of course Emperor Bless Warhammer 40K. Like like that's the only one that has like a solution, a viable solution and also Dune too,
Oh
as we were
yeah.
saying. Dune's also basically real too. Um, fucking, I always think about the fucking opening to the latest adaptation. The fucking Sardaukar chant. Dreams are messages from the deep. It's like, oh yeah, real,
Real? Yeah, true.
real, correct. Yeah, we just drugs and you could commune with fucking, I don't know, something
The
and learn to
genetic
feed you.
memory, like
Yeah, yeah. But like I think fucking Warhammer and Dune give the answer, which is like you gotta take the fight to them. You gotta take the fight to the demons, the filthy xenos. Uh, you gotta go on whichever flavor of holy war, whether it be a fucking crusade or a jihad. You gotta just sorry, like no xenos, no
yeah.
goblins.
Well, yeah, no, we got aliens on the 40K side and technology on the Dunes. Well, thinking technology anyway.
In a way, they're both the same fucking thing. That's the horror of it all. Is the Shadowrun timeline is kind of like the most likely one because it's a nice mixture of both.
Who would have thought? Who had that on their bingo card? That of all the futures we have, it's Shadowrun.
It's fucking Shadow.
Jeez.
Damn, I can't wait to become a Shadowrunner. That's gonna be cool. But yeah, that's like it's so that really is like the only answer is to just be like, no, like you literally need to take you need to like you need to fucking go full like I don't know, like Donald Trump, but for humanity, humanity first.
Holy shit!
Make humanity great again.
There we go. Need to make a hat. Right.
That's if we ever have enough of an audience to sell merch, that's gonna be one of them. Make humanity great
Holy
again.
shit! That's there you go. You have all these. Yeah. There you go.
That's gonna be our first merch if there ever will be. Yeah, that's again like like if you read like fucking Warhammer 40K stuff, like I think it has the best example of like the attitude you need to have where it's just like like you need to be like no fuck this fuck fuck the fucking demons, fuck you, eat shit, die, we're gonna make this universe basically human. We're gonna fucking just totally humanize reality itself. None of this fucking demonic shit. Butlerian jihad now.
Yes. Though, preferably the Dune side, because the Warhammer universe is just awful to live in as a regular person.
Yes.
As cool as it is in the message, but it's just absolutely awful. At least Dune, it's like you got rid of technology, you just better yourself. You can become a human computer if you want.
Yeah.
Or
fuck. Even like even just being like a normal person. Like I imagine just being like a normal like peasant on like Caladan, for instance.
That'd be pretty good. I'd say
probably was not bad at all. Like House Atreides seems pretty fucking cool. They probably don't fuck with their people
a lot of the houses are probably pretty good.
Just so long as you're not on the fucking Harkonnen homeworld.
Don't worry about that. Or you wait until they're
So long as you're not thrown on Seleucus Secundus and made as part of the Sardaukar, like you're good. Oh fuck. Fucking me.
Or even better, you come along during the reign of the glorious Leto II.
Yeah.
Even better.
The original God Emperor. Let's fucking go.
Worm man, let's go.
This is the future. The future will be determined by an interdimensional realm inhabited by interdimensional beings that are fucking with us for reasons beyond our comprehension.
Or the worse realization of all the cosmic comedy. It's just a Truman Show. This whole planet is just a Truman Show, like shitpost on some alien forums. Like,
are you watching the latest episode of Earth, bro? Oh my god, dude! This fucking Putin guy started a war. Holy shit, dude! He actually fucking did it.
Oh my god! It's like finally something's happening. Jeez, we haven't had a spicy happening and
yeah.
On the cosmic level.
Exactly. God. God damn. This really has been one of the episodes of all time.
Truly. Will we be killed for speaking out against the interdimensional men in black? Who knows?
Who knows? I'll find out next time.
Or not. Oh, you'll find out by not finding out.
Yeah, you'll know if there's like not another episode this year.
If there's nothing within the next 2 years, you'll know we're gone.
Yeah, that's how you know it's for real. God.
Jeez. That might be a good place to wrap it up, maybe.
I think so. I think. Yeah, I think.
It's over. Will the people see us again? Who knows? We'll see. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully, I think you know what I think we will. I think 2023 is our year. New
Yes.
year, new me.
A classic January of every year for the last like 2,000 years. New
this
year,
time
new me,
for
guys.
this time for real. This time for real. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see.
Or who knows, maybe I'll come back to you with another episode when a real happening happens and the A's reveal themselves.
Yeah, oh yeah, episode
Episode,
4. One.
we're interviewing one already.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the first guest to have on a podcast? It's like, oh yeah, District 9 Prawn.
Here we have a Gromulax the Invader. What do you have to say about this historic happening? Like what the fuck? Yeah, okay.
Sorry, we don't have translators yet. I'm sure Google's working on that already.
I'm sure we can get Chat GPT to figure it out. But yeah,
Yeah,
this has been layer 1.
yeah, so we will see you around.
Peace.